Ladies and gentlemen, I am Brock Beard, and this is your starting lineup as they have qualified for the Carfax 400 at Michigan. On the pole for the second time this year, it's Casey's Citizen Kane alongside the 40 Dominate of Jimmy Johnson, the same front row we had at Sonoma. Row 2, the Warrior from Emporia, Clint Boyer, 10 points out of the chase in 13th after struggling the last 2 weeks, has a great starting spot today. The Rushville Rocket, Tony Stewart, is still searching for his first win of the season. Row 3, the Destroyer, Juan Pablo Montoya, dominated last week to a popular win at the Glen, and the Biffmeister, Pocono winner Greg Biffle. Row 4, Mighty Matt Kenseth has a pair of wins here in the Irish Hills, and point leader Happy Kevin Harvick has 2 top 5s. Word is this week that Harvick will be sponsored by Budweiser for much of next season. In Row 5, the New Jersey Fury, Martin Truex Jr. leads the Toyota contingent, and the bright yellow fella, Paul Menard, has his best qualifying run since Chicago. On Wednesday, it was confirmed that Menard will drive a new 4th team for Richard Childress in 2011. The Mayor, Jeff Burton, starts on the inside of Row 6 despite leading Friday's opening practice session. The Mark 5 of 5-time winner Mark Martin hangs on to 12th in points. Row 7, the Blue Deuce of last week's runner-up Kurt Busch and Hudaman, David Rudaman. Row 8, Landon Sandcastle had an outstanding run in qualifying and is tops among this week's Go-Homers. Dangerous AJ Allmendinger ran great at the Glen, but the shocks in his Ford were a little too aggressive in Friday's qualifying. Row 9, the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, and the Wild Thing, Kyle Busch. Row 10, Joplin, Missouri's Daytona 500 and Brickyard 400 champion Jamie McMurray in the Norelco car, and Sleek and Swift, Regan Smith was 8th in practice. Row 11, Mad Max Pappas will be running this car just once more at Bristol before Casey MEARS climbs in at Atlanta. The Italian will be focusing on his Truck Series ride from there. Front row, Joe Nemechek left it all on the wall in qualifying and was rewarded with the 22nd fastest time. Row 12, the Master of Disguise, Elliott Sadler goes petty blue for the Henry Ford Museum, and it's black, it quacks, it's sponsored by Aflac, and in 12 previous Michigan starts has completed every lap, the 99 of Concrete, Carl Edwards. Row 13, the threat from Joliet, Patrick Carpentier will run Latitude 43's Air Guard Ford once more after David Stremme left the team on Tuesday, and hometown hero Brad the Big Keselowski starts 26th. Row 14, it's Sliced Bread himself, Joey Logano, and sideways, Sam Hornish Jr. still plans to stay in NASCAR next year as his team searches for new sponsorship. Row 15, the amazing David Reagan, and awesome Bill Elliott, the 7-time winner, makes his 61st start at this track. Row 16, the need for Scott Speed will either be joined by or replaced by Casey Kane in 2011, depending on whether or not Team Red Bull decides to expand to 3 teams. Full throttle, Travis Kvapil lost 36th in owner points to the 26 team and hopes to get that back today. Row 17, Denny Hammer and Hamlin, a terrible qualifying run for the June winner, and Reed 83 Sorensen returns to the Red Bulldozer. Row 18, Robbie Gordon gets both his Toyotas into the show for the 2nd consecutive week after swapping seats with PJ Jones in a peculiar move. Congratulations to the Wonder Boy, Jeff Gordon, on the birth of Leo Benjamin on Monday. Row 19, the Tasmanian Devil, Marcus Ambrose, 3rd at the road course, but 37th on the grid today, and fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. also has his work cut out for him. Row 20, Tony Have You Ever Seen the Rains got into the now unsponsored 34 car at the last minute, as both Kevin Conway and sponsor Extends decided Friday morning to suspend their obligations to Front Row Motorsports. Word remains that Extends is still committed to Conway's NASCAR career. Bobby Labonte is back with Kevin Buckler in the Tax Slayer Chevrolet number 71. Row 21, PJ Jones is back in the aforementioned Robbie Gordon machine that's locked into the show, and David Gilliland returns to the 37 team. And in row 22, all by himself, the Texas Twister Michael McDowell squeezed into the show despite making contact with the turn 4 wall during his first timed lap. 4 teams missed the show this week. Mike Bliss in Braun Racing's first attempt since Indianapolis. J.J. Yaley misses his 2nd consecutive race in Dusty Whitney's Dodge. Scotty Riggs, who replaced Dave Blaney at Prism Motorsports and made his first qualifying attempt since Phoenix. And Casey MEARS was 2nd fastest among the Go-Homers in practice, but struggled in qualifying. In addition, Larry Gunselman's team withdrew earlier in the week, and driver Tony Raines is in the 34 car. And ladies and gentlemen, there's your field for the Carfax 400.